We are excited and honored that you have chosen to work with us here at KidsLife Child Development Center, including BaseCamp Before and After School Care, a ministry of Life Church. Please carefully read and review our employee handbook. Thank you for choosing KidsLife for your employment, and we look forward to working with you. Mission statements. KidsLife Child Development Center strives to provide excellence in Christian preschool education and development, in order to promote healthy spiritual, intellectual, physical, social, and emotional growth in children. We partner with parents to build Christ-like character in our children and help them blossom into thriving members of their family and community. BaseCamp Before and After School Care strives to provide a quality enrichment program for school-aged children in a loving, Christian environment. We will give campers a safe place to develop healthy academic, social, physical, and communication skills while instilling Christ-like character traits to guide them down a path to become thriving members of their family and community. Preface. KidsLife Child Development Center focuses on guiding children from birth through 5th grade to build proper social skills while teaching them foundational information they need to succeed in life. This handbook has been prepared to establish expectations and to inform new employees of the policies and procedures of KidsLife and BaseCamp. Please set aside some time to become familiar with it. This handbook is not a contract, expressed or implied, guaranteeing employment for any length of time, and is not intended to induce an employee to accept employment with the company, and should not be read to create a contractual relationship between an at-will employee and KidsLife. At will, employees are free to resign at any time, with or without notice. KidsLife also reserves the right to terminate employment at any time and for any reason. Professionalism is expected of all staff members in their interactions with children, parents and coworkers, whether in person, on the phone, through emails, or on social media. As role models to the families and children in our care, all employees are expected to display godly lifestyles with courtesy, consideration, maturity, positive values, appropriate speech and grammar, good hygiene, patience, and genuine love and concern for children. KidsLife reserves the right to periodically update any of its policies at its sole discretion. Every effort will be made to keep employees informed of the policies, however, we cannot guarantee that notice of revisions will be provided. Feel free to ask your supervisor about any of the information within this handbook. Philosophies and goal. We know that the early years of a child's life are essential to their overall development. A child's development begins at birth, and we offer the highest quality care for infants that continues through 5th grade. We are dedicated to fostering a love of learning. As a ministry of Life Church, we are committed to each child's spiritual, social, emotional, physical, and intellectual growth. Our preschool program incorporates and exceeds the Nevada pre-K level of standards, and our before-after-school program focuses on growing the heart, mind, soul, and strength of each of our youth campers in pursuit of living full godly lives. Our comprehensive curriculum encompasses everything a child needs to be a successful, lifelong learner. Thoughtful and age-appropriate activities provide a nurturing and stimulating classroom environment with fun and educational toys and activities for active learning and play. These activities are designed for group learning and individual development. Each child will experience unique, imaginative play in our state-of-the-art facility. Featuring both indoor and outdoor playgrounds, we provide a clean, safe, fun-filled environment. In all of our KidsLife classrooms, our teachers are expected to form positive and supportive relationships with each child individually. By building a bond with each child and developing a trusting relationship, children's learning and development will flourish. Through quality, one-on-one time and thoughtfully documented observations, our teachers will develop an emergent, as well as immersive, play-based learning experience built around each child's unique personality, interests, and developmental needs and levels. In our BaseCamp classrooms, counselors will also foster supportive relationships and provide a curriculum under the focuses of heart, soul, mind, and strength. Each core program provides opportunities for youth to practice living with all of the aspects of living full, godly lives. Through the process of continuous quality improvement, this program will continue to grow and expand to reach all the needs of youth as they develop in each core program. General Center information. KidsLife is open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we offer part-time and full-time care with 7 different year-round classrooms ranging in ages from 6 weeks to 5 years old. BaseCamp is open from 7 a.m. until school drop-off and from school pickup to 6 p.m., 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on school breaks as listed on the calendar, and we offer before only, after only, or before and after care. Below is a list of our classrooms. While we generally base the placement of children on their age as of the first day of school of any year in order to align ourselves to Washoe County schools, we reserve the right to place children in a room that is developmentally appropriate to meet their needs. Infant and toddler classes, tadpoles, infant room, diapered, frogs, infant, toddler, diapered, honeybees, toddler, diapered potty training. Daily activities for our infants and toddlers include quality time with their teachers, undivided attention to build healthy and responsive relationships and to help each child develop good self-esteem, communication skills, and confidence. Time to explore and discover their environment, providing hands-on opportunities for learning. Interaction through play to encourage social and language development. Opportunities to stimulate and encourage learning through the use of their senses. Developmentally appropriate art, math, and science activities to foster creativity and cognitive skills. Physical development through age-appropriate activities and time to play and explore in our indoor and outdoor play areas. Healthy snacks and family-style mealtimes when teachers can interact with each child to foster self-help skills and encourage a healthy lifestyle. Preschool, pre-K classes. Bear cubs. Preschool, potty training. Hummingbirds. Preschool, fully potty trained. Bighorns and stars. Pre-K, fully potty trained. Children are provided opportunities to participate in classroom learning centers, including language and literacy, math, science, art, dramatic play, blocks, music and movement, and varying lesson themes. Daily activities for our preschoolers include quality time with their teachers, undivided attention to build healthy and responsive relationships, and to help each child develop good self-esteem, communication skills, and confidence. Time to explore and discover their environment, providing hands-on opportunities for learning. Interaction through play to encourage social and language development. Large and small group time to promote cooperation, group participation, and active listening. Opportunities to stimulate and encourage learning through use of their senses. Developmentally appropriate art, math, and science activities to foster creativity and cognitive skills. Physical development through age-appropriate activities, as well as time to play and explore in both our indoor and outdoor play areas. Healthy snacks and family-style mealtimes when teachers can interact with each child to foster self-help skills and encourage a healthy lifestyle. Reading and writing preparation through activities promoting letter and number comprehension, listening and speaking, writing and drawing, and phonological awareness. We provide a child-friendly, Christian-based introduction to the Old and New Testaments, as well as foster spiritual development through praise and worship using Bible stories and songs. We also have a chapel service for the center once per week. Our classrooms model respect and value for each individual, and we encourage an atmosphere of gratefulness for all of God's creation. We also understand that family is an integral part of a child's overall development, making our partnership with each child's family a vital piece of our program. Our school embraces similarities and differences among everyone and strives to help children develop an understanding and appreciation for themselves, their families, and their community. The values taught in our programs will and are expected to align with the Life Church Statement of Faith. Our teachers use ProCare, an interactive online tool that captures and shares the development of the children every step of the way. Teachers will post their classes' daily activities, lessons, important information, and parent communication. On ProCare, parents can follow their child's developmental milestones and enjoy photos and videos, never losing those memories or missing precious moments. BaseCamp programs. In order to fulfill our mission of developing thriving members of our community, BaseCamp campers will be offered a variety of enrichment opportunities and programs. Every regular schedule day, campers will participate in at least one activity from the core programs listed below. During the break schedule, they will be offered multiple programs. These programs will center around living life with all our hearts, souls, minds, and strength. Heart programs will focus on building upon our campers' passions by introducing them to a variety of different activities that allow them to express themselves. Activities in this area of focus may include but are not limited to the arts, drama, graphic design, music, and film. Soul programs will focus on the camper's sense of worth and identity as children loved by God. Activities in this program may include but are not limited to chapel gatherings, monthly character and value themes, devotionals, community leadership, and the practice of spiritual disciplines. Mind programs will focus on loving God with all our minds. Activities in this program may include homework help and tutoring, STEM lessons, reading, and scripture memory. Strength programs will focus on developing strong bodies, being active, and making healthy choices. Activities in this program may include sports, fitness, games, health skills, and community service. At BaseCamp, we believe and teach the concept that our values influence our behavior. Matthew chapter 6 verse 21 teaches us that, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. We want to focus on building a healthy community for our counselors and campers through positive behavior interventions. By focusing on these core values and teaching the behaviors attached to them, we hope to build a thriving community with a currency of grace. G. Generosity. We believe in the importance of living generous lives, and we want to teach and model the spirit of generosity. Because Christ has blessed us with great things, we want to live in generosity towards others. At BaseCamp, generosity looks like giving or sharing with others even when you don't have to. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 11. R. Respect. Here at BaseCamp, we will strive to build a culture of respect, not only for our friends and those in our community, but also for those who are different from us or hard for us to get along with. At BaseCamp, we demonstrate this through the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. Whatever you want others to do for you, do the same for them. Matthew chapter 7 verse 12. Accountability. BaseCamp promotes stewardship and accountability. We must be responsible and care for the resources entrusted to us, so we will model and demonstrate accountability with the things that we are given. At BaseCamp, accountability looks like being responsible for the equipment and supplies we use along with our own possessions, such as backpacks, water bottles, coats, etc. As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another, as good stewards of God's varied grace. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10. C. Communication. We believe that a healthy and godly culture stems from godly communication. As Christ followers, we desire to plant God's word in our hearts so the words we speak will bring Him glory. We will model positive talk, active listening, encouraging words, and healthy conflict resolution. At BaseCamp, we model this by talking about our problems. We tell others how we expect to be treated, and we share our feelings. If we have issues that we can't resolve on our own, we notify the counselors so that they can help resolve the situation. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Colossians chapter 4 verse 6. E. Encouragement. BaseCamp values encouragement to build campers' confidence and self-esteem through the interactions between campers and counselors. We want to create a culture of growth through encouraging words and actions. At BaseCamp, we cheer each other on and lift each other up in each activity we participate in. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 11. Parent involvement. KidsLife maintains an open door policy and welcomes parents to visit at any time during business hours. Parents must check in with the receptionist when visiting and sign in as they arrive. We encourage you to carry on as normal when parents are visiting. We ask the parents to consult the classroom staff before visiting so you can inform them on how to assist you with the learning process. KidsLife encourages teachers to keep the lines of communication with the parents open. Parents are the primary educator for their children, so we want to expand what we teach the children by informing the parents of what their children learn so they may reinforce it at home. Employee classifications. KidsLife Child Development Center has numerous employment classifications. The following is a flowchart showing our organizational structure. A copy of the outlined job description stating the specific responsibilities of the job will be given to each person upon being hired. New employee forms. The following forms are found in your new employee packet. Please read, sign, and return the paperwork requiring a signature to administration on or before your first day of employment, employment conditions and contract. Life Church Statement of Faith. Life Church Ministry Covenant. Life Church Social Media Policy. Life Church Intellectual Property Policy. Life Church Confidentiality Policy. Life Church Sexual Harassment Policy. Employee Handbook Certificate of Receipt. Job Description Acknowledgement Form. W-4 and I-9 forms. Emergency Contact Form. Direct Deposit Form. Optional but recommended. We will also require a copy of each employee's driver's license and social security card, or other employment eligibility verification, to be kept on file. New Employee Orientation Period. Each new employee of KidsLife is provided with a copy of this employee handbook as well as other policies and procedures, which are appropriate to the laws which govern this profession. Every new employee goes through an initial orientation period for their first 90 days of employment with KidsLife. During this period, you will become acquainted with your job, and it will give us an opportunity to fairly evaluate your progress and potential. If, during the 90 days, you fail to qualify for continued employment, you will be informed of our decision. Participation in or completion of the orientation period does not guarantee continued employment and does not change your status as an at-will employee. We intend to help you successfully complete your orientation period by providing you with the necessary information and instructions to perform your job. We want to see you succeed in every possible way, so please let your supervisor know if you have any questions. Job requirements for childcare. State childcare licensing background check. All employees working for KidsLife must have a state background check performed before working with any children. An application to obtain a background check will be provided to the employee upon hiring. A copy of the official letter of eligibility must be provided within 90 days of employment and must be renewed every 5 years. Employees can apply for reimbursement of the background check. You must complete the request form, with your start date, and provide a copy of the original receipt. Employees must also work a minimum of 6 months to retain their reimbursement. KidsLife will reimburse you when you submit your receipt, but if you do not work for at least 6 months, the reimbursement amount will be deducted from your last paycheck. Tuberculosis, TB, skin test. All employees must have a negative TB test result on or before their first day of employment. KidsLife will provide the paperwork needed to get a TB test placed at a renowned urgent care, or you can choose to get your TB test at your physician's office. If you have ever received a positive TB test or have received a COVID-19 vaccination in the last 4 weeks, please ask the administration for alternate options. Employees can apply for reimbursement up to $19. You must complete the request form, with your start date, and provide a copy of the original receipt. Employees must also work a minimum of 6 months to retain their reimbursement. KidsLife will reimburse you when you submit your receipt, but if you do not work for at least 6 months, the reimbursement amount will be deducted from your last paycheck.
Required training classes. All employees need to complete the following classes within their first 90 days of employment. New employee orientation. All employees will receive a packet on or before their first day of employment and are required to read the information thoroughly and complete all forms. CPR, first aid, for infants, children and adults, certification in the administration of cardiopulmonary resuscitation and 2 or more hours concerning the administration of first aid. This must be taught by a certified instructor, and renewed according to the card's expiration date to be kept current. Signs and symptoms of illness with bloodborne pathogens, as taught or approved by the Washoe County District Health Department. This class will be renewed every 3 years. Child abuse and neglect. Every childcare worker is a mandated reporter of child abuse and neglect and, therefore, should have a knowledge of the signs of child abuse and neglect and must know the proper steps to be taken in reporting child abuse and neglect. Listings of approved workshops are listed on the Nevada Registry website. This class will be renewed every 5 years. Sudden infant death syndrome and shaken baby syndrome. At least 2 hours concerning sudden infant death syndrome and 1 hour of training in the prevention of shaken baby syndrome and abusive head trauma. Child development, guidance or discipline. 3 or more hours of instruction, approved by the Nevada Registry or its successor organization, or any other agency designated by the department to approve such courses. Child nutrition, wellness. 2 or more hours of instruction, approved by the Nevada Registry or its successor organization, or any other agency designated by the department to approve such courses. This class is required annually. Building and physical premises safety. 2 or more hours of training in building and physical premises safety, which must include, without limitation, training in the storage of biocontaminants and other hazardous materials. Medication administration. 2 or more hours of training in the administration of medication, which must include, without limitation, training in the prevention of and response to food and other allergies. Emergency preparedness. 2 or more hours of training in emergency preparedness and response planning for emergencies resulting from a natural or human-made event. Transportation and field trip safety. At least a 1-hour training concerning general transportation guidelines for keeping children safe in a childcare setting that follows Nevada childcare regulations. Emergency management plan. Training to review the emergency procedures to ensure the safety of the staff and children in the event of a disaster, whether natural or human-made. Any caregiver who is under 18 years of age must complete an additional 3 hours of course in the development of children before working in the classroom. All courses must be approved by the Nevada Registry or its successor organization, or any other agency designated by the department to approve such courses. These can be found at the Nevada Registry Training Calendar, https://www.nevadaregistry.org/calendar/closing parenthesis. Other training requirements. The Department of Social Services requires that all childcare workers earn 24 clock hours of education-related training each year, 12 of which must be specific to the age group with which you primarily work. Below are several ways to obtain these training requirements. Current enrollment in a community college or university while taking an education-related class. Attending approved on-the-job training provided by KidsLife Child Development Center. Taking classes or workshops offered by the Nevada Registry, www.nevadaregistry.org or its successor organization, or any other agency designated by the department to approve such courses. Employees can apply for reimbursement of the cost of these classes up to $60 per licensing year, June 1st to May 31st. You must complete the request form and provide a copy of the original receipt and class certificate. KidsLife will reimburse you when you submit your receipt, but in the case of voluntary or involuntary termination, the reimbursement amount will be deducted from your last paycheck from that licensing year. Code of conduct. As an employee of KidsLife, you need to set a godly, loving, and positive example for the children in our care. Your responsibility as an employee is to perform your duties to the best of your ability so that we can all continue to grow and succeed. This responsibility carries numerous obligations such as following the KidsLife rules, abiding by the Life Church Staff Ministry Covenant, cooperating with administration and coworkers, and remaining loyal to creating a positive learning environment for the children. While we hope and expect the need for disciplinary action will be rare, when your job performance, attitude, or conduct fall short of our established standards, we will not hesitate to take appropriate action. Such action will range from oral or written warnings to termination. Some types of misconduct are so intolerable that termination may be imposed for even the first offense. Violation of the following rules may result in an oral or written warning for each offense, and further disciplinary action subject to the discretion of the center director and the situation. Failure to maintain satisfactory work performance. Excessive tardiness, excessive, unexcused absenteeism, calling out, absent without prior approval, regardless of the amount of available PTO. Continual absenteeism will result in termination. This is outlined in the point system policy. Incooperative attitude, failure to immediately report any work-related injury or accident. Gossip, violating our social media policy. Committing any one of the following serious violations will result in immediate termination for the first offense, and proper authorities will be notified, if applicable, placing children or staff in immediate physical danger. Using poor judgment that goes against the discipline policy of KidsLife in dealing with the children under your care. This includes using a personal cell phone when children are in your care. Theft, participating in a theft, or attempted theft of the property of KidsLife, any employee of KidsLife, or any visitor on our campus. Failing or refusing to cooperate with KidsLife in an investigation of a theft or a suspected theft of another employee's or KidsLife's property, or other conduct harmful to KidsLife. Dishonesty, lying, embezzlement, falsifying any record, including employment application, falsely reporting any act or transaction or attempting to defraud KidsLife Child Development Center by any means, including making a false or fraudulent statement regarding absences, overtime, workers' compensation claims, falsifying financial records, falsifying your time records or time records of another employee. Damaging, destroying, or harming KidsLife property or the property of another employee or visitor. Fighting, assaulting, or attempting to assault any member of management, employee, or visitor, or deliberately provoking or inciting another person to engage in an assault or fight. Possessing firearms or other dangerous weapons or materials on KidsLife premises, including the parking lot area, or in connection with the business without permission from management. Disloyalty, including disparaging, maligning, or defaming the reputation of Life Church, KidsLife, or any of its employees. Insubordination, including refusing or failing to obey a work request or instruction of any member of management, or encouraging another employee to refuse or fail to obey such a request or instruction. Violation of the Life Church Ministry Covenant. Violation of KidsLife alcohol and drug policy. No call, no show. Involvement in any illegal activities on KidsLife premises or in connection with the business.
Personnel records. KidsLife maintains personnel records for every employee. The information contained in your personnel file is needed to communicate with you, compute your payroll deductions, and otherwise comply with various state and federal laws and regulations. It is important to both you and KidsLife that your personnel record is kept accurate and up to date. Therefore, we ask that you immediately notify us, in writing, if there are any changes in the following information: change of address and/or telephone number, change in marital status, change in name, change in the person you designated to be notified in case of an emergency, change in the status of your W-4 exemptions, convicted of a felony or any other crime that is related to the provision of childcare. All such information will be treated as highly confidential and will only be available to the employee and those people with a need to know the information. Due to the nature of our work, i.e. working with children, we must be candid on all references and reference requests. Attaining references is an important step in the hiring process. We have contacted the references you provide. If a prospective employer calls for a reference, we will confirm employment date and position title. Code of conduct. As an employee of KidsLife, you need to set a godly, loving, and positive example for the children in our care. Your responsibility as an employee is to perform your duties to the best of your ability so that we can all continue to grow and succeed. This responsibility carries numerous obligations such as following the KidsLife rules, abiding by the Life Church Staff Ministry Covenant, cooperating with administration and coworkers, and remaining loyal to creating a positive learning environment for the children. While we hope and expect the need for disciplinary action will be rare, when your job performance, attitude, or conduct falls short of our established standards, we will not hesitate to take appropriate action. Such action will range from oral or written warnings to termination. Some types of misconduct are so intolerable that termination may be imposed for even the first offense. Violation of the following rules may result in an oral or written warning for each offense, and further disciplinary action subject to the discretion of the center director in the situation. Failure to maintain satisfactory work performance. Excessive tardiness. Excessive, unexcused absenteeism, calling out, absent without prior approval, regardless of the amount of available PTO. Continual absenteeism will result in termination. This is outlined in the point system policy. Incooperative attitude. Failure to immediately report any work-related injury or accident. Gossip. Violating our social media policy. Committing any one of the following serious violations will result in immediate termination for the first offense, and proper authorities will be notified, if applicable, placing children or staff in immediate physical danger. Using poor judgment that goes against the discipline policy of KidsLife in dealing with the children under your care. This includes using a personal cell phone when children are in your care. Theft, participating in a theft, or attempted theft of the property of KidsLife, any employee of KidsLife, or any visitor on our campus. Failing or refusing to cooperate with KidsLife in an investigation of a theft or a suspected theft of another employee's or KidsLife's property, or other conduct harmful to KidsLife. Dishonesty, lying, embezzlement, falsifying any record, including employment application, falsely reporting any act or transaction or attempting to defraud KidsLife Child Development Center by any means, including making a false or fraudulent statement regarding absences, overtime, workers' compensation claims, falsifying financial records, falsifying your time records or time records of another employee. Damaging, destroying, or harming KidsLife property or the property of another employee or visitor. Fighting, assaulting, or attempting to assault any member of management, employee, or visitor, or deliberately provoking or inciting another person to engage in an assault or fight. Possessing firearms or other dangerous weapons or materials on KidsLife premises, including the parking lot area, or in connection with the business without permission from management. Disloyalty, including disparaging, maligning, or defaming the reputation of Life Church, KidsLife, or any of its employees. Insubordination, including refusing or failing to obey a work request or instruction of any member of management, or encouraging another employee to refuse or fail to obey such a request or instruction. Violation of the Life Church Ministry Covenant. Violation of KidsLife alcohol and drug policy. No call, no show. Involvement in any illegal activities on KidsLife premises, or in connection with the business. Life Church Ministry Covenant. Life Church recognizes that no one is perfect, and that is why Jesus came. We are all a work in progress, which the Bible calls sanctification. Life Church welcomes all people to attend church gatherings no matter where they are in their relationship with Christ, including those who are exploring faith, not yet following Jesus, or poorly following Jesus with immaturity, brokenness, sin, or a different perspective than that of historic Christianity as understood by Life Church. But Life Church requires all leaders who serve in any capacity, including volunteer ministry leaders, and all staff members who serve in any Life Church ministry, including but not limited to KidsLife, BaseCamp, and Life Christian Academy, to live in line with the Bible as understood by Life Church. This document is intended to clarify some of what that means. Please know, this document is not exhaustive, nor is it a substitute for the Bible or all Life Church teachings. As a member of the ministry staff at Life Church, I acknowledge my role as a minister of the gospel of Christ and part of the royal priesthood of God, EPH 4:12, Pet 2-5 and 9. I believe that I am called by God to the daily work of ministry. I understand that my calling and the purpose of my position is to lead people in their relationship with Jesus Christ, and that high calling is worthy of my best, EPH 4:1. I commit to adhere to the doctrines and teachings of Life Church as a minister of the gospel and to uphold the standards from the Bible. I therefore agree to obey the following basic ministry requirements. Continually develop my personal relationship with Jesus Christ, Mark chapter 10 verse 21. Maintain a Christ-like witness by walking out my faith each day in wholesome ways. James chapter 1 verse 22, EPH 5:18. Take the required time needed to prepare for my weekly duties and seek to incorporate my own gifts in my role, 2 Tim 2:15. Use the Bible regularly as a resource to my role and help those I come into contact with to discover and apply the truth of Scripture. Ps. 119-16. Make sharing my faith a regular part of my life and focus at Life Church, Matt 28-19. Regularly attend church, pastoral, administrator, director level must be Life Church, and participate in a small group or Bible study group each year. Heb. 10:25, 2 Tim 2:15. Personally support the overall ministry of Life Church through my prayers, participation in worship and fellowship, and encouragement. 1 Thess. 5:17, Heb. 10:25. Live out a lifestyle, in both my actions and communications, in keeping with the principles of the Bible and seek the Holy Spirit's help to live a life of purity by adhering to a historic Christian sexual ethic. 1 Cor. 5 and 6. This includes but is not limited to not engaging in any sexual activity outside of the bonds of a legal marriage between one man and one woman, including fornication, adultery, use of pornography, and any homosexual or transgender activity and relationships, and not cohabitating with anyone with whom I am romantically involved until legally married. Only consume alcohol in a legal and safe manner, avoiding drunkenness and the use of illegal drugs, and to be aware of my testimony for Christ in relation to who may be watching me and how they might perceive my behavior. EPH 5:18, I-Cor 8-9. I understand that these biblical requirements are essential conditions of my position as a minister chosen and employed by Life Church. I acknowledge that Life Church has the right to terminate my position if Life Church determines that I have failed to adhere to these requirements. I also understand that Life Church alone interprets these requirements and my fitness to serve as a minister at Life Church. If I struggle with any items in this document, or fail to follow these requirements, I will inform Life Church leadership. Life Church leadership will determine the proper response, including but not limited to further discipleship, grace and encouragement, restoration after repentance, discipline, or termination in performance reviews and pay increases. All staff is observed throughout the year and evaluated annually by the center director. These typically take place during the summer of the upcoming school year and are not necessarily on your anniversary. Initial evaluations will be conducted after your first 90 days of employment, unless otherwise discussed. KidsLife strives to offer its staff members competitive wages. Raises are dependent upon job performance, merit, education, budgeting, and cost of living, and are at the discretion of the center director. A time will be established to discuss the evaluations and the amount of the pay increase, if applicable. Pay increases will become effective the pay period following your evaluation. Each employee will receive their evaluation, and a copy will be kept in your employee file. KidsLife will give all staff members every reasonable opportunity to correct unsatisfactory performance. If performance or behavior issues arise, for any staff member at any time, a meeting to discuss the issues will be scheduled. These issues will be noted in written form and kept in employees' files. If the center director feels necessary, a 90-day action plan will also be documented detailing steps the employee must take to improve their performance or behavior, and the employee will be required to sign the 90-day action plan acknowledgement. If, after receiving a performance or behavior notice and/or completing a 90-day action plan, the same issues arise, termination could result. Additionally, each staff member is required to obtain at least 24 hours of training, CS, each year of employment. We require these to be turned in at the rate of 2 hours per month. Each year begins and ends on the anniversary date of employment for each employee. Grievances and communications, our open door policy. At Life Church, we believe that strong relationships hinge on open, honest communication. The Bible teaches us in Matthew chapter 18 verse 15 that if someone has offended us, we should go directly to them to discuss it, and each person shall act in a responsible, mature manner and refrain from gossiping to others, including co-workers and parents of children in our care. It is our goal to have a pleasant and productive working environment at all times. Our ability to achieve this goal depends on all of us showing mutual respect to each other and maintaining open lines of communication. Therefore, we have an open door policy. This means that if you have any questions about your job, complaints of any kind, pertinent information, or opinions about matters that affect your or your coworkers' employment or work environment, we require you to discuss these concerns first and only with the center director or assistant director. If you are found to be gossiping or discussing these matters with staff other than the director, assistant director, you will receive 1 day's suspension without pay. If the behavior continues after that, it is grounds for termination. We are always willing to help you with any work-related problems, or listen to your suggestions or complaints. If we do not know about your problems, suggestions, or complaints, we cannot begin to address them. We encourage your input, our doors are always open, and we hope that you will help keep the lines of communication between us open at all times. Sexual harassment policy. Sexual harassment is any unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature which makes a person feel offended, humiliated, and/or intimidated. It includes situations where a person is asked to engage in sexual activity as a condition of that person's employment, as well as situations that create an environment which is hostile, intimidating, or humiliating for the recipient. Sexual harassment, whether committed by supervisory or non-supervisory personnel, is specifically prohibited, unlawful, and against Life Church policy. Sexual harassment includes unwelcome verbal behavior such as comments, suggestions, jokes, or derogatory remarks based on sex. Physical behavior such as pats, squeezes, repeatedly brushing against someone's body, or impeding or blocking everyday work or movement. Visual harassment such as the posting of sexually suggestive or derogatory pictures, cartoons or drawings, even at one's work area. Unwanted sexual advances, pressure for sexual favors, and/or basing employment decisions upon the employee's submission to sexually harassing behavior in the workplace. Employees who feel they have been or have witnessed other employees being subjected to harassment of any kind are encouraged to immediately identify the offensive behavior to the harasser and request that it stop. If the employee feels uncomfortable addressing the matter directly with the harasser, or if they have done so and the behavior does not stop, the matter should be immediately discussed with a pastor or another ministry director with whom the employee feels comfortable. All complaints will be investigated promptly, impartially, and discreetly. Upon completion of the investigation, the appropriate parties will be notified of the findings. All employees found to have harassed an employee will be subject to appropriate corrective action, ranging from disciplinary action to termination. No employee will suffer retaliation in any form for reporting instances of harassment. Responsibilities include: employees, bring to the attention of a pastor or another ministry director the perceived or actual incident of harassment or witness of such. Pastor or ministry director, maintain a work environment free of intimidation and harassment and respond immediately and appropriately to any complaints or indications of such behavior. Investigate all initial complaints and report them to Life Church executive leadership. Pastor or ministry director, administer the necessary disciplinary action toward any individuals proven guilty of such an act or any who knowingly falsely accuse another of sexual or other form of harassment. Drug and alcohol abuse policy. To ensure a drug-free, healthful, and safe workplace, and to model Christ-like behavior, Life Church and KidsLife maintain strict standards regarding the use of drugs and alcohol. All staff, including part-time employees, are expected to report to work in appropriate mental and physical condition to perform their duties effectively and safely. Prohibited conduct. The use, possession, distribution, or sale of illegal drugs, or being under the influence of drugs or alcohol during working hours, is strictly prohibited. The use of over-the-counter or prescribed medications is permitted only if it does not impair job performance or endanger others. Consumption of alcohol in an unsafe or excessive manner is not permitted, see Ministry Covenant. While marijuana use is legal in Nevada under certain guidelines, Life Church and KidsLife expect complete adherence to state law and do not encourage its use unless under a physician's direct care. Any drug or alcohol-related activity that jeopardizes safety, interferes with job performance, or damages our witness will not be tolerated. Standards for alcohol consumption. Recognizing that alcohol consumption is both a cultural and biblical issue, staff should exercise moderation, responsibility, and cultural sensitivity. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verses 19 to 23. Avoid causing offense to others for whom alcohol use may be a stumbling block. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verses 9 to 13. Romans chapter 14 verse 21. Give special consideration to the higher standard placed upon them as representatives of Life Church. Enforcement and testing. Violations of this policy may lead to disciplinary action, up to and including termination. Some violations may also carry legal consequences. Drug and alcohol testing may be conducted randomly, after an accident, or upon reasonable suspicion at the discretion of the center director. Staff are encouraged to be open with leadership regarding questions, concerns, or potential violations. Smoking policy. KidsLife Child Development Center is a non-smoking facility and smoking, i.e., cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and vape pens, is not permitted in or near the vicinity of KidsLife. This includes inside the building, on the second-floor balconies, the children's outdoor play areas, the parking lot, and anywhere on school grounds. Cell phone policy. KidsLife does not allow use of cell phones in your classroom when children are present. Limit all cell phone use to lunch or other breaks. The use of cell phones during your scheduled work time is subject to immediate dismissal. KidsLife reserves the right to request that cell phones be held by the administration in a safe location during working hours. The only exception to this policy is for contacting emergency medical services, 911, and for signing campers into or out of pro-care when off-site. Social media policy. As an employee of Life Church, you are a representative of the church. The following tips and guidelines can help you uphold your integrity and that of Life Church when using your personal social media accounts. Personal social media. Remember who you represent. You represent God, not yourself. Make sure your communications are above reproach. Express your opinions in a clear, loving, and logical way when engaging in dialogue with others. Link content from official sources rather than third-party or non-sanctioned social media accounts. Endorse official Life Church initiatives and campaigns. As staff, we are core ambassadors of Life Church and our participation on social media can catalyze others. Share posts that come from Life Church accounts. Avoid political commentary. As leaders in the church and representatives of Life Church in our community, we carry a special responsibility to represent our church, and more importantly Christ, in a way that is compelling and inviting to the people we serve and seek to reach. From libertarians, Democrats, and Republicans to those who don't care at all, we have many political stripes within our congregation. Social media is always filled with political comments with who said what about various hot topics. We encourage our staff to not engage in political commentary or endorsements on social media, because we pursue a bigger mission. Because I represent more than myself. Because we serve a broader purpose than my political views. Non-sanctioned accounts. Any social media account that uses the Life Church name that was not approved by and created through the leadership is a non-sanctioned account. In general, we do not allow control of social media accounts and profiles by volunteers or other third parties. Life Church staff or residents should never be involved with non-sanctioned accounts, except for the purpose of reporting such accounts, and their creators, if known, to the leadership. If any staff member has been involved in creating a non-sanctioned account or has control over one or more such accounts, they should report immediately to the leadership. Engagement. All Life Church social media accounts must remain active and monitored. If someone asks a question to a social media account, it needs to be answered within a reasonable amount of time. Failure to do so will result in the deletion of the account. Creating and maintaining a new social media presence. In order to create a new social media account or profile, you must acquire permission from your direct report and provide a strategy and/or case for the implementation of the social media presence. The teams involved will consider the strategy and case provided and will finalize a decision about whether to implement the new account. Please note that not all requests can be granted. New accounts will be created by the IT department in conjunction with our brand guidelines. Legal considerations and copyright laws. Legally, you are responsible for anything you post online, so be sure to follow all relevant laws regarding the distribution of information, especially those concerning copyrights. Always obtain permission before posting photos of people or other copyrighted materials like video and music clips. When in doubt, please contact the leadership for guidance. Confidentiality issues. Online postings are not private and can remain in the public sphere for long periods of time. Therefore, be careful not to publish any information that is confidential or proprietary to Life Church, even if privacy settings are enabled. Avoid identifying and discussing others, especially personal information such as contacts and email or details like hospitalizations, deaths, health issues, or counseling engagements including church members, visitors, or staff. Make sure what you're sharing is ready for public consumption and has been published in some other official form of Life Church communication. An effective way to do this is to link to content published through our website or other official social media accounts. Negative feedback in emergency situations. If you encounter negative remarks that need to be moderated or require a response, alert your direct report, or in emergency situations, the executive leadership team, so that situation can be assessed and addressed quickly. Remember that what you say is a reflection of Life Church and Jesus Christ, even when you provide disclaimers. Intellectual property. As an employee of Life Church, you may be asked to create, author, make and design copyrightable works. Web designing and web developing, including new ideas or concepts, writings, the content and visible elements of a web page, artwork, graphics, and other creative works of every kind and nature, recorded on and in all audio and video recordings, and other mediums and technologies now existing and yet undeveloped, collectively referred to as creative works. Creative works created are for the sole benefit and ownership of Life Church. This policy is to confirm that you will relinquish any and all rights to the material created for Life Church under this agreement and acknowledge that Life Church owns all rights to the work created under this agreement. Life Church wishes to maintain in confidence all information including data, technology, commercial and research strategies, trade secrets, inventions and know-how disclosed by Life Church to the employee, directly or indirectly, in written, oral or other tangible forms, for the purpose of this agreement, collectively, confidential information. In this regard, you will not disclose confidential information to others without the prior written consent of Life Church. Confidentiality policy. KidsLife employees are expected to protect the privacy of all the children in our care as well as other employees and coworkers. You will have access to personal information about children and their families, including medical records, marital statuses, etc., and you are expected to keep all of that information confidential, both while employed at KidsLife and after employment ends. Any items printed as a physical copy containing confidential matters such as personal information, social security numbers, contact information, financial information, human resource details, or sensitive communications of any kind are considered confidential and private. These items will be in sealed envelopes or interoffice memo folders and labeled confidential when being passed to another area for any reason. These items should never be loosely distributed or left lying around, inclusive of incoming fax transmissions. Stored hard copies should be in locked facilities. When exchanging or storing electronic media, i.e. written or recorded materials, photos, videos, files, etc., it is important to protect those materials via the church network only and avoid public cloud storage systems such as Google Docs, Dropbox and others. You may become part of team meetings where privileged information may be shared or discussed. In those instances you will need to evaluate such information and its application to issues for appropriateness prior to any further discussion. Transportation policy. BaseCamp will provide transportation for campers from the Life Church campus to the camper's designated elementary school, pick them up after school, and bring them back to Life Church. To ensure our staff and children stay safe, we have all drivers meet the following requirements. Must be over the age of 21 years old, administration's discretion, have a valid and current driver license. Complete a Nevada-specific transportation safety course. Allow Life Church to request, run a motor vehicle report, MVR, of their driver's license annually. If the following violations are reported in the MVR, Life Church will deny or revoke the driving privileges of that employee or volunteer driver. 2 or more of the following violations within the last 3 years. Any speeding violations less than 14 miles per hour over the limit. Distracted driving, including cell phone usage. improper lane change, failure to yield, at-fault accidents, tailgating, running a stop sign or red light, any one of the following violations within the last 5 years, speeding over 14 miles per hour, passing a stopped school bus, speed, street racing, driving with a suspended, revoked license, any one of the following violations ever, DUI, driving with an open container, eluding a police officer, vehicular assault, manslaughter, homicide, hit and run, use of a vehicle to commit a felony, operating a vehicle without owner's consent, reckless, careless driving. This does not represent an all-inclusive list of potential violations, and wording may differ by state. The administration reserves the right to make all final decisions regarding our bus drivers. To maintain transportation safety, drivers must not use any alcohol or even prescription drugs that could impair their ability to drive a vehicle within 12 hours of driving a BaseCamp vehicle. Smoking is also prohibited while driving a BaseCamp vehicle. Bus rules. Before any employee transports students, the administration will observe and train employees until they are comfortable driving and backing the buses. Keys will always be kept in the director's office when not in use. Losing the keys could result in termination. Absolutely no cell phone use will be permitted while operating a bus. Drivers need to have a cell phone with them to check campers out of and into ProCare as you drop off and pick up each day. Once that action is completed, the cell phone must be locked in the dash, designated lockbox, and only accessed in the event of an emergency once the bus is safely off the road, has come to a complete stop, and is in park. Buses will be equipped with walkie-talkies. These could also be used if you need to contact the Life Church campus. Walkies should be only used when the bus is at a complete stop. Ensure all children are appropriately buckled before the bus is in motion. This could be a verbal confirmation from your coworkers or personal, visual confirmation. Nevada regulations require children 6 years of age and under 57 inches tall to be in a 5-point harness. If you do not have enough 5-point harness seats, extra booster seats are stored in a bin on the bus. Help configure and maintain appropriate seating charts so all children have the appropriate seatbelts. Communicate all expectations for bus behavior to the children to foster a positive behavior culture on the bus. Never leave children unattended, whether on the bus or at drop-off. Verify they are within the school gate or doors before you leave. Always know how many children are in your care or how many children you are heading to pick up. Park in the best possible location for children to safely enter and exit the bus without having to walk in front of or behind the bus, or cross a parking lot or lane of traffic. You must check every child out of ProCare at drop-off and into ProCare as you pick up. This is your attendance checklist. Paper copies are also available. Before you leave the Life Church campus, counselors must know how many children they are going to pick up at each location. Once at the school for pickup, if a child is unaccounted for, you will take the following steps. Call the school you are at and speak with the front office. School phone numbers are listed in the red binder. If the school is unaware of the child's location, then call the parents and the KidsLife front desk. Parent and KidsLife phone numbers can be found in the red binder to decide how to appropriately act next. Follow the directives decided at that point by the parent and administration. You must perform a daily walk-around checklist before you drive. You must help perform a monthly maintenance checklist and let Dan know if anything needs to be addressed. Fuel buses as needed. Cameras and the Rule of 3 policy. For the safety of the children in our care and our staff, all of our church property, including the KidsLife building, playgrounds, and buses, are all equipped with video cameras. These cameras are constantly recording, can be monitored by the administration at any given moment, and can be played back as necessary. Our Rule of 3 policy is as follows. Staff are never to be alone with a child in any location that does not have cameras, such as while on field trips or for BaseCamp counselors if left at an elementary school with campers waiting to be allowed into their school. If a situation arises where only one child is going to be present for an early school drop-off or pickup, 2 staff members will be present with the child, in addition to the driver. This is another reason to always know how many children you are picking up, dropping off, or taking on a field trip before you leave the Life Church premises. Doorstop policy. Doorstop policy. One of our main objectives at KidsLife is to create a safe center for all children. To ensure children stay safely within the center and do not wander, if you ever see a door that is propped open, you must shut it immediately. Hold the door for other staff and children, but do not use anything to prop them open. If you see a door propped open, close it immediately. For the safety of the children, it is a terminable offense if we see staff walking through propped doors and not closing them behind them between the hours of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Supervision. Whether your class is in the classroom or on any of our playgrounds, always walk around, monitor your children, check blind spots in the room, playground, and counting heads. As a teacher, it is not the time for you to be sitting. Be up on your feet, engaging the children, and on the alert. When in treehouse and if there are multiple teachers present, it is totally fine for one of you to be on the ground or in the treehouse with the kids. If you are the only staff present at the moment, you must stay on your feet, walking the perimeter of the playground. You should always know how many children you are responsible for and where they are at all times. Staff to child discipline policy. Praise and positive reinforcement are the most effective methods of behavior management of young children. When children receive positive, nonviolent, and understanding interactions from adults and others, they develop good self-concepts, problem-solving abilities, and self-discipline. Based on this belief, KidsLife uses a positive approach to discipline and practices the following discipline and behavior management techniques. We do. Communicate to children using positive statements. Communicate with children on their level, verbally and physically. Talk with children in a calm, quiet manner. Explain unacceptable behavior to children. Give attention to children for positive behavior. Praise and encourage the children. Reason within set limits for the children. Apply rules consistently. Model appropriate behavior. Set up the classroom environment to prevent problems. Provide alternatives and redirect children to acceptable activities. Give children opportunities to make choices and solve problems. Help children talk out problems and think of solutions. Listen to children and respect the children's needs, desires and feelings. Provide appropriate words to help solve conflicts. Use storybooks and discussion to work through common conflicts. We do not inflict corporal punishment in any manner upon a child. Corporal punishment is defined as the use of physical force to the body as a discipline measure. Physical force to the body includes, but is not limited to, spanking, hitting, shaking, biting, pinching, pushing, pulling, squeezing or slapping. Use any strategy that hurts, shames, or belittles a child. Use any strategy that threatens, intimidates, or forces a child. Use food as a form of reward or punishment. Use or withhold physical activity as a punishment. Shame or punish a child if a bathroom accident occurs. Embarrass any child in front of others. Compare children. Place children in a locked and/or dark room. Leave any child alone, unattended or without supervision. Allow discipline of a child by other children. Criticize, make fun of, or otherwise belittle a child's parents, families, or ethnic groups. Conferences will be scheduled with parents if particular disciplinary problems occur. If a child's behavior consistently endangers the safety of the children around him, her, and the family is unable or unwilling to get proper assistance, then the director has the right, after meeting with the parents and providing documented behavior problems and attempted interventions, to terminate child care services for that particular child. Note: if, at any point, there is an indication, suspicion that a child may have special needs, KidsLife will inform the child's family and assist them in making contact with Child Find or Early Intervention Services for assessment and assistance. KidsLife and its staff will make every effort to include all children. Front Desk Etiquette Policy. The front desk is where parents and visitors get their first impression of Life Church and its ministries throughout the week. We would like this to be a positive impression, filled with warmth and joy as well as professionalism. With that, the front desk will not be a space for 10-minute breaks, lunch breaks, or a place to loiter after you have signed out. If you have any complaints or concerns and would like to speak with an administrator that is at the front desk, please ask them when they are available to meet so we can find an appropriate space to discuss issues. When employees are scheduled to work the front desk, the following are expected. Greet every person who enters or leaves the lobby. Buzz in authorized visitors. Answer phones and take messages as necessary. Report to an administrator who is on site and can assist in scheduling or other requests. The front office coordinator will have the same expectations as well as other assigned tasks related to their job. Appearance and dress. While we respect your individuality, your neat appearance and proper attire are important to our ability to act as a role model for the children in our care, leave a favorable impression with our families we are serving, and honor our faith and fundamental belief in the Bible. We encourage our employees to strike a balance between dressing comfortably for activities and setting an example of appropriate dress. We also strive to maintain a professional atmosphere and rely on your good judgment in this area. Your clothing should be tasteful, neat, and appropriate for all duties. All employees are required to wear a clean, wrinkle-free shirt that covers the midsection, spaghetti straps, tube tops, crop tops, cut-off shirts, backless shirts, or shirts, sweaters that show bras or bra straps are not allowed. If you are wearing a shirt that shows your bra straps, or midsection, you will be given a KidsLife or BaseCamp shirt to wear. Pants, capris, jeans, or modest-length shorts may be worn. If you are wearing tight pants, your shirt must cover your rear end. Tattoos or piercings other than ears are at the discretion of the center director. She has the authority to request that the tattoo be covered or the piercing be removed or hidden. No gauges or industrial bars allowed. This is for employee safety as well as professionalism. Hair must be clean, neat, and if colored, maintained in a natural tone. This means no colors such as green, purple, blue, pink, etc. Diaper changing. We follow the very specific licensing requirements, 14 steps, for every diaper change in our center. Each employee in a diaper room will be thoroughly trained on this procedure, watch a video with a detailed demonstration, and be observed by administration for correct procedures and signed off on before changing diapers. Male employees do not change diapers and are therefore usually scheduled in our pre-K, preschool, or BaseCamp rooms. Gather supplies, prepare, disposable liner, optional, carry the child to the changing table, avoid contact with soiled clothing. Unfasten soiled diaper, clean diaper area with disposable wipes, front to back, 1 wipe per swipe. Fold the used diaper over, secure it with the tabs. Pull the gloves inside out over the secured diaper as the gloves are removed. Dispose of all contaminated materials in a lined receptacle with a tightly fitting lid that is used for diapering materials only and is out of reach of children. Use disposable wipe to wipe hands. First caregiver then child. Apply skincare ointments as needed. Dispense onto a clean, single-service, disposable item prior to application, glove, tissue, or Q-tip. Slide the clean diaper under the baby, adjust and fasten it. Wash the child's hands. Return the child to the group. Clean and sanitize the diaper changing table after each use. Dispose of table liner, if used. Caregivers shall wash their hands. Document diaper change in ProCare with your initials, including any skin problems and report, to the parent or guardian, any rash on the child or unusual stool frequency, color, or odor. Report information above to the parent or guardian at pickup. *3. The child care facility's cloth diaper changing procedure is the same as the single-use diaper changing procedure, except as follows. 1. After a diaper change, the cloth diaper and waterproof cover shall be simultaneously removed as a unit and placed directly into a leak-proof container. The container shall be labeled with the child's name or diaper service and maintained inaccessible to children. The contents shall be sent home or picked up by the diaper service daily. 2. Cloth diapers shall not be rinsed or contents disposed of at the child care facility. 3. If the child care facility allows cloth diapers, the diapers shall be of a front closure design with an absorbent inner liner and waterproof outer covering. The diaper and cover shall be removed as a single unit, with no reuse of diaper or cover until cleaned and sanitized at the child's home or at a diaper service. The diaper must be able to contain urine and stool and minimize contamination. Per KidsLife child sexual abuse policy, men are not allowed to diaper change or change soiled clothing. Tickling, appropriate touch policy. Tickling is not allowed at KidsLife in our preschool rooms, bear cubs, hummingbirds, bighorns, and stars. For the protection of our staff and children, we have determined that this can be seen as an inappropriate touch by the children, parents, or other teachers, and ultimately, we want to avoid any situation that could seem questionable. We also feel that children should not be forced into any physical touch with teachers. Hugging, sitting on laps, holding, or any other touch that is forced upon a child is not acceptable. As a staff member, you may give hugs with the child's permission at appropriate times. Children have the right to refuse physical touching at any time. Preschool-aged children still need positive physical contact when necessary. During distress, injury, or to calm down, staff are encouraged to offer contact after gaining permission. In the infant, toddler rooms, it is appropriate in short time frames, i.e., tickling a baby briefly to elicit a smile or laugh. But even in these rooms there should be no prolonged tickling. We don't ever want a child, infant, toddler, or preschooler to be made to feel uncomfortable by a member of our staff. At BaseCamp, we want to model appropriate touching in a professional manner with our elementary-aged campers. For this age group, we recommend appropriate touches and encourage positive affirmations such as high fives, side hugs, and bumping knuckles, but we want to limit other physical contact that is uncomfortable and may put our staff organization at risk. Please do not allow campers to climb on you or sit in your lap. Absolutely no back rubs or massages. We also will not physically restrain a camper except in the event that a camper's actions could cause harm to him, herself, another camper, or a counselor. Front desk etiquette policy. The front desk is where parents and visitors get their first impression of Life Church and its ministries throughout the week. We would like this to be a positive impression, filled with warmth and joy as well as professionalism. With that, the front desk will not be a space for 10-minute breaks, lunch breaks, or a place to loiter after you have signed out. If you have any complaints or concerns and would like to speak with an administrator that is at the front desk, please ask them when they are available to meet so we can find an appropriate space to discuss issues. When employees are scheduled to work the front desk, the following are expected. Greet every person who enters or leaves the lobby. Buzz in authorized visitors. Answer phones and take messages as necessary. Report to an administrator who is on site and can assist in scheduling or other requests. The front office coordinator will have the same expectations as well as other assigned tasks related to their job. Appearance and dress. While we respect your individuality, your neat appearance and proper attire are important to our ability to act as a role model for the children in our care, leave a favorable impression with our families we are serving, and honor our faith and fundamental belief in the Bible. We encourage our employees to strike a balance between dressing comfortably for activities and setting an example of appropriate dress. We also strive to maintain a professional atmosphere and rely on your good judgment in this area. Your clothing should be tasteful, neat, and appropriate for all duties. All employees are required to wear a clean, wrinkle-free shirt that covers the midsection, spaghetti straps, tube tops, crop tops, cut-off shirts, backless shirts, or shirts, sweaters that show bras or bra straps are not allowed. If you are wearing a shirt that shows your bra straps, or midsection, you will be given a KidsLife or BaseCamp shirt to wear. Pants, capris, jeans, or modest-length shorts may be worn. If you are wearing tight pants, your shirt must cover your rear end. Tattoos or piercings other than ears are at the discretion of the center director. She has the authority to request that the tattoo be covered or the piercing be removed or hidden. No gauges or industrial bars allowed. This is for employee safety as well as professionalism. Hair must be clean, neat, and if colored, maintained in a natural tone. This means no colors such as green, purple, blue, pink, etc. Paid time off, PTO, and FMLA. Paid time off is accrued by full-time and part-time employees. Accrual begins on the first day of employment and is based on the number of hours worked per pay period. PTO time can be paid out, used after the first 90 days of employment. The amount of benefit time an employee accrues is as follows: 0.067 hours per hour worked for the first 3 years of employment, cap of 112 hours earned per employment year, based on the date of hire. For the 4th year of employment and above, the accrual is raised to 0.1 hours per hour, cap of 168 hours earned per employment year, based on the date of hire. An employee may choose to have PTO hours applied to their paycheck, up to 80 hours per pay period, for taking time off due to illness, personal days off, leave of absence, medical leave, maternity leave, and vacation. PTO will not be paid out upon resignation or termination, whether voluntary or involuntary. Employees can only carry over, bank 168 hours of PTO before they reach a cap and will need to use some of the PTO before accruing more. This is for the well-being of all of our employees. We want you to take time to refresh your soul. KidsLife also provides leave to eligible employees in accordance with the Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA. For complete details, please see the attached FMLA policy. This policy is also posted in the teacher workroom. Snow day pay. For mornings when WCSD has a delayed start due to snow, KidsLife will make the best educated decision we can for the center, our staff, and our families. We will take into account the roads directly around the center as well as snow accumulation in the areas we know staff are driving from. For days that we operate with a delayed start, openers whose hours are cut short can request to stay later to make up any missed hours if they choose. This will be at the discretion of the center director, but we will do our best to accommodate the request, i.e., find something for you to do. Until further notice, KidsLife will follow WCSD snow closure days only. We will occasionally reassess this policy as our number of substitute staff grows. On snow closure days, all staff will be allowed to either come into the center and work from their rooms, if they feel safe to drive, or be allowed to work from home on curriculum planning, curriculum prep, completing CS, or other approved work activities. If you suspect a snow day is coming, feel free to take supplies home with you that you could work on, cutting activities, bulletin board supplies, an iPad, etc. Employees can work up to the number of normally scheduled hours each snow day. If an employee chooses to work from home, they must verify their activities with Kat, Stevie, or Kylie, i.e., send pictures of ProCare entries, completed prep, communication with parents, newsletters, etc. If a staff member has done everything they can from home, but the snow is still prohibiting them from getting to the center on a weekday, the time can be made up on the weekend, during that pay period, to receive snow day pay. If an employee chooses to not take advantage of the above offers, they are free to use PTO for any missed hours. They can also do a combination of the above, work some hours and take the rest unpaid or use PTO. We will do our best to work with each employee's needs. Childcare. Life Church offers a limited number of tuition scholarships for eligible employees who have a child enrolled at KidsLife. These scholarships are at the discretion of Life Church administration and are based on the budgetary needs of the church and preschool. The center director will remain in contact with Life Church administration as to the number of available scholarships. If an employee is receiving a tuition scholarship, the employee may only receive the childcare scholarship benefit during hours they are working at the center. Any additional childcare provided while the employee is not working for Life Church will be at full tuition costs. For employees with a child enrolled in KidsLife or BaseCamp, the cost of childcare will be deducted from their biweekly paycheck, no exceptions. Employees will be reimbursed for childcare costs when PTO time is used. In the case that employment is terminated with KidsLife, any balance due for tuition will be deducted from the final paycheck, up to the total amount of the check,
Owen's mama.
and
How
an
did you
invoice
know?
will be sent if a remaining balance is still due after the final paycheck.
You know me?